Coronation Street's Tyrone Dobbs reaches breaking point next week, and tells his wife Fiz what he's been hiding for weeks. Tyrone's conscience finally gets the better of him as news spreads about Summer Spellman's struggles to cope in prison. Summer is being held on remand after being charged with murdering Theo Silverton. Viewers know that she seems to be innocent though, as flashback scenes have backed up her story about what happened that night. In a sad new twist, Summer is admitted to hospital after making herself ill so that she can get out of jail for a while. This sparks concern for her well-being, and Tyrone feels particularly terrible. He knows that he could quickly end her ordeal by telling the truth about what he saw before Theo died. While at home with Fiz, a struggling Tyrone realizes that it's time to unburden himself. "I've done something really bad," Tyrone admits. "I'm the reason that Summer's locked up. She didn't kill Theo, I know she didn't." When Fiz asks if this means that Tyrone is the killer, he replies, "No. I had no time for the bloke, but I wouldn't do that. But I did see Summer that night and I lied to the police. Because otherwise I would have to tell them where I really was and I'd be the one getting arrested. Attempted murder, maybe. I was the one that nearly killed Carl," he explains. Later in the episode, Tyrone recalls how he walked in on Carl sabotaging Kevin's brakes at the garage, and recorded the incriminating moment on his phone. A freak accident with the jack led to Carl being crushed, but Tyrone fled from the scene and let Ronnie Bailey handle the situation. This was shown to viewers in recent flashback scenes. Once she's heard Tyrone's full account of what happened, Fiz urges him to show her the footage. Does she have a plan to get her husband out of this mess? In the tight-knit world of Coronation Street, secrets rarely stay buried for long, but some have a way of festering until they can no longer be contained. On a rain-lashed evening over Weatherfield, Tyrone Dobbs finally finds himself cornered by his own guilt, forced toward a confession he has been avoiding for days, maybe even longer. It begins quietly, almost deceptively normal. The Dobbs State household is dimly lit, the hum of the kettle in the background filling awkward silences rather than comforting them. Fiz State moves around the kitchen with tense efficiency, folding laundry too sharply, placing cups down a little harder than necessary. She knows something is wrong. She has known for days. Tyrone has been distant, distracted, his usual warmth replaced by a jittery unease that he cannot quite disguise. And tonight it is worse. Tyrone stands by the doorway, keys still in his hand, like he has forgotten whether he came in or is about to leave again. His jaw tightens every time Fiz glances at him. He tries to speak twice and fails both times. Finally, Fiz breaks the silence. "Just say it," she says, not unkindly, but firmly. "Whatever it is, Tyrone, just say it. I can't do this tiptoeing around you anymore." That line lands heavily. Tyrone swallows. His eyes flick to the floor, then to the table, then anywhere but her. Because what he is about to say changes everything. This isn't a small mistake. It isn't a misunderstanding. It is the kind of truth that fractures trust and leaves cracks that never fully heal. "I've done something really bad," he says at last. His voice is barely above a whisper, like he is afraid the walls might repeat it. That phrase alone is enough to tighten the atmosphere in the room. The kettle clicks off. The silence that follows feels sharper than any argument. "What kind of really bad?" she asks slowly. Tyrone finally looks at her, and the regret in his face is immediate. It is not defensive. Not evasive. It is the look of someone who has already replayed this moment 100 times and hated himself in every version. "I didn't mean for it to happen," he says quickly, as if speed might soften impact. "I swear, Fiz, I didn't set out to." "Stop," she interrupts. "Just tell me what you did." That is the moment everything tips. Tyrone exhales shakily. "I've been hiding something. For weeks." Fiz's expression tightens, suspicion now edging into fear. "What kind of thing?" He hesitates so long it almost becomes unbearable. Then it comes out. "I've been in contact with someone I shouldn't have been." Fiz blinks. "That's it." But Tyrone shakes his head immediately. "No. That's not it. I've been lying about it. Covering it up. Deleting messages. Meeting them when I said I was somewhere else. The color drains from Fiz's face slightly. Meeting them? She repeats. Tyrone, who? He closes his eyes for a second, bracing himself. And when he says the name, it doesn't just land, it detonates. Fiz steps back instinctively, as though the air itself has shifted. No, she says flatly. No, don't you dare tell me this is what I think it is. But Tyrone doesn't deny it. That silence is the confirmation. I didn't plan it, he says again, more desperate now. It just happened. We started talking, and I was going through stuff and they were listening and I felt seen in a way I haven't felt in ages, and I know that doesn't excuse it. I know it doesn't, but you've been lying to me, Fiz says sharply, her voice cracking at the edges now. For weeks? Tyrone nods once. Shame floods his face. Fiz turns away, gripping the back of a chair like it is the only thing keeping her upright. Her mind is racing, trying to assemble the truth into something that makes sense, but it refuses to settle into anything manageable. Was it just messages? She asks, quieter now. Tyrone hesitates again. That hesitation answers more than words ever could. Fiz lets out a short, disbelieving laugh, though there is no humor in it at all. Oh my God! She whispers. Oh my God, Tyrone! I'm sorry, he says quickly. I am so sorry. I never wanted to hurt you. I never wanted to lose you. Everything got messy and I didn't know how to stop it without destroying everything. You already have, Fiz snaps, finally turning back to him. Her eyes are wet now, but her anger is holding them steady. Do you have any idea what you've done? Any idea what you've put us through while you were off playing secret double life? Tyrone flinches at the words, but he doesn't defend himself. He doesn't deserve to. The room feels smaller now, as if the walls are closing in around the confession. Fiz shakes her head, pacing a step away, then back again. Weeks, she repeats. Weeks of lies. Looking me in the eye. Sitting at this table. Sleeping next to me. Her voice breaks on the last words. Tyrone steps forward slightly, then stops himself. He knows better than to reach for her now. I was going to stop, he says quietly. I was going to tell you. I just kept thinking I needed one more day to figure out how. There is no good way to tell your partner you've betrayed them, Fiz says bitterly. There's just telling them, or lying forever. That hits harder than anything else. Tyrone looks like he might collapse under it. I never stopped caring about you, he says, almost helplessly. That part was never fake. Fiz stares at him for a long moment, her expression unreadable now, not just anger, but something deeper. Hurt that has settled in too quickly to process. Love isn't the issue, she says finally. Trust is. And you've just proved I can't trust anything you say. The words hang in the air, final and heavy. Outside, rain taps steadily against the window, indifferent to the unraveling happening inside. Tyrone nods slowly, as if accepting the consequence before it fully arrives. I understand, he whispers. Fiz wipes her face quickly, refusing to break completely in front of him. Do you? He doesn't answer immediately. Because the truth is, he doesn't fully understand yet. Not the scale of what he's done. Not the long road ahead of repairing, or losing, everything. And that uncertainty is what makes the moment so devastating. Fiz steps back, creating distance between them in a way that feels irreversible. I think you should go, she says quietly. Tyrone's eyes lift sharply. Fiz. Just go, she repeats, firmer now. Before I say something I can't take back. He hesitates, lingering for a second too long, as if hoping the room might somehow reset itself if he doesn't move. But it doesn't. Finally, Tyrone nods once, slowly, and turns toward the door. As he reaches it, he pauses, but doesn't look back. Because he already knows what he'll see if he does, the beginning of the end of everything they built. And so, in the heavy silence of Weatherfield's rain-soaked night, Tyrone Dobbs walks out with his confession finally spoken, and nothing left to protect him from the consequences. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Coronation Street News 24.